Hi, welcome. It's Mike Newton back in the swing studio here. I've just had a few requests on my channel since doing a few videos on the new Srixon U65 utility iron, the sort of driving iron that they've launched. Maybe just asking if we can do a comparison against last year's model, which was the U45. Now, U45 is something that I've got in my bag. I carry a 20 degree and an 18 degree in it, which is a 2 and 3 iron. They also do a 4 iron option. But in the new 65, they've actually added a 5 iron option there, which I think is 26 degrees. So basically, I'm just going to do a little head-to-head against U45. I've got obviously the new one, the U65 here. So I've done a review of that on my channel already, so you can go and check that out for a bit more of a detailed, in-depth review of that particular club. There's some subtle changes on there. To be honest, looking at it, as you can probably see, if you look at the soles here, very sort of similar. We've actually just added the the actual number 3 on the bottom of the club here. And again, looking at the U45 is the bottom one against the U65. So this little V section here you see on the back has just moved slightly more towards the toe on the 65 against the 45. But apart from that, it's very, very similar on the look as you put it down. They're both forged still. Both, I think, are cracking looking irons. These are one of my favourite golf clubs in the bag. I absolutely love hitting that. I've always been a bit of a long iron player myself. I love that sort of lower, more penetrating ball flight, and they're just so easy to use. I mean, you can have your days when you think, you know, you're pulling 2 iron out of the bag, you're thinking, oh God, I'm going to have to absolutely nail this. Whereas this, you know, you can hit it pretty much anywhere in the face and that ball still goes. It's fantastic. But again, you know, check out my reviews on that. So I'm just going to put these head to head. I'm going to start off with the last year's model, U45. Okay, they've both got Miyazaki graphite options in here. You can get steel options through custom fit. I mean, the Miyazaki comes as standard here, which I personally like because, again, going into a longer 2 iron sort of club, sometimes the steel shafts, the clubs get a little bit heavy and just, again, a little bit less forgiving. So that just makes it a bit easier to swing, pops the ball up and away quite well out of all different types of lies. Some guys might find that a little bit too light. I mean, I've got a bit of a club head speed here, but I find it absolutely fine. But again, it's a bit of a personal choice, to be honest, in that. So I've got obviously the newer one is the orange version here now. So they've just slightly updated the shafts fractionally, but they're both stiff, both 20 degrees. So I'm doing pretty much like for like here. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the U45. We'll hit a batch of shots. We'll have a look at some numbers on the GC2 just with the differences. Okay, good strike first shot, just a little bit pulley, but really, really good strike. That's getting out at 229 carry, running out roughly 250. Okay, I'll just do you a little close-up of the playing positions of both heads here, and you can just maybe have a little look yourself. Okay, so the 2 irons here in playing position. So on the left-hand side here, we've got the U45, U65 on the right here. So we'll just move that 65 out of the way to begin with, and we'll just play with that 45, last year's model. You can just see at the back of it there, it's quite a shiny finish here, so you can just see that at the back, just sticking out. Fairly thickish top line, a little bit of offset there, you know, which you're sort of going to expect in these more utility clubs, more utility iron, should I say, which you see with a lot of the other brands, which I personally like. I know it's a clumpier look or thicker, chunky look, but it just feels with so much more confidence when you sit that down by the golf ball. Just moving the 65 here. I'll try and get this at the same angle here. So again, you've got that little bit of bulgeous soles just sticking out at the back of the golf club there. Again, fairly thickish top line. Very, very similar on the look. There's not a lot in it between these two, to be honest. Both forged, as I say. And I think they both sit, you know, really sort of nice for a long iron with that sort of biggish look. It's a great strike again, really good connection. That's carrying out at 227, running out 248. This is a 3 iron, bearing in mind. So I have found playing these, they are quite strong. You know, sometimes you hit a shot and you think, whoa, that's quite nice, and then it just wants to get out there a little bit more. It's the very strong hitting golf club, and that sometimes creates a little bit of a problem when you're gapping it into your normal set, whether that maybe starts at 4 iron or even 5 iron there. You've just got to be aware of that gapping, which again, you've got to go and get fit with these and just try and gap them in perfectly. But a really good sort of option off the tee, off the fairway, long par fives. You know, somebody who just wants that lower ball flight. Maybe somebody who plays at more of a windier golf course, who might not like the hybrids or the high flight of a hybrid. This is a really good sort of option, really. That was a real necky one. That was quite a bad strike there. I've definitely felt that, a bit necking. It's dropped off. 209 carry, 229 run out there. Probably maybe shows you that was a really poor strike. That was a real bottom heely sort of shot there. That still sort of got out there. It wasn't too bad. I can imagine trying to hit that with a more traditional 3-iron would have been absolutely awful in terms of the result. Let's just have a couple more goes. Far better strike, just a bit pushy. Yeah, it's carrying 221. Sorry, 218, running out 234. Again, really good strike. Yeah, 235. Run out 254, just a little bit pulley on that, that's why it's gone a little bit further. Okay, right, so I'm going to switch over to the U65, we'll let a batch of shots with that and then we'll have a look at some numbers, do some comparisons. Okay, so we've got the U65 in our hands here now, so same loft, same flexing shaft, number 3, 20 degree, we'll let some shots with this. Not a bad strike there. Okay, so that was carrying out at 223, running out 246. As I say before, the look is very similar. Present that down by the golf balls, not a lot in it. Obviously the shaft colour is different, which is probably the biggest thing. But the look of it is very similar. Does sit, I think personally, very nice. It fills you with a lot of confidence. That was carrying out at 220, running out 235. Little bit cutty, that one. Okay. I think what they've done differently on the new one is they've just increased the size of the grooves here for a little bit more consistent spin against last year's one. Hit that really well. That was a lovely shot. Yeah, carrying out 229, running out 247. Again, pretty good strike there. Fractionally toey maybe. 217 carry, 233 run out. Okay, I'm just going to hit one more. It probably just feels, I don't know whether it's me, it maybe just feels a touch lighter in my hand against the 45 version. Just a fraction maybe, not a lot in it to be honest. The look is great. Okay, so we'll hit one more. Oh, that was a real bad one. I'm going to get rid of that because that was a very bad pulley shot. I'll delete that shot in a minute. I'm just going to hit another one. Other strike again. Yeah, about 219 carry. Okay, I'll delete that awful one because that was a real bad pull smother. Okay, and then we'll have a look at some numbers and see how it's performing against the U45. Okay, guys, let's have a look at some numbers here. So just before we start, bear in mind I haven't got the HMT stickers on here, so the club head speed isn't absolutely 100% accurate. Ball speed is, however, so we're looking at ball speed there. On average here, out of all the shots, obviously a few drop-offs there depending on the strike. You can see pretty much the same, 139 there. Launching a fraction higher there with the new one. I think that's mainly a little bit too. I missed a few more right of target, 13 yards right of target on average there, so that's probably a little bit to do with that. Spins up a smidge there, again on average about 300 revs, maybe again a bit more because I hit a few more right shots. Peaking out a touch higher again because of the right shots, and obviously descending a little bit lower. But looking at carry distance there, 220 against 223, very, very similar on the carry numbers. Okay, so there we have it on the two Srixon utility irons, the U45 against the U65. As you can probably see there from some numbers, there's not a massive amount of difference between those two clubs. I think, if anything, the look's exactly the same really. There's very little to put in it, as you can see from side-by-side views. But probably just with the weight of maybe the U45, just been a little bit heavier possibly. But apart from that, it's very difficult to split these two apart from each other. And again, looking at numbers, you know, probably strikes, changing those numbers tiny amounts, if anything. I think the actual performance of the club is very, very similar. So what I'd maybe say here, you know, if you're already gaming the U45, that's in your bag. Would you want to change the U65? Possibly not. I think you've got a cracking club as it is. You know, I don't know if you're going to gain that much with the new one. Having said that, you know, if you like a new toy in your bag, you know, go for it, why not? If you've not got a utility iron in your bag at the moment, you're playing hybrid, you're maybe just looking for a club for that lower ball flight, that windy golf course, link style or whatever, or you like hitting an iron more than a hybrid, then go and give that a go. Obviously the new U65 is a fantastic club, you know, go and give it a go, give it a test. They're doing different lofts depending on what you're looking for really. Okay guys, hope that helps. I've just hit over my 1,000 subscribers on YouTube now, so many thanks to all the watchers out there for subscribing. If you're not subscribed and you're watching this, please just go and click on it. It's free to do. You'll get notified of any future videos coming up. I'm trying to get as much as I can on. Obviously, if you've got any videos that you want me to look at, or try and do, then just please drop a comment below. Let me know. Give it a thumbs up, share it around, and hopefully we'll see you all very soon.